Hello everyone and welcome to Grinds Online Ireland. I'm Tara and today we're going to be covering some algebra, some tricky algebra questions involving quadratic equations. So our question today is the following equation is true for all x. Ax squared plus bx multiplied by x minus 4 plus c multiplied by x minus 4, all that is equal to x squared plus 13x minus 20. And it's our job to find the values of the constants a, b, and c. The trick with this question, guys, is to make this formula look like the right-hand side. So we're going to have one equation, we're going to have one x squared, one x, and one normal number. In order to do that, we're going to have to first multiply out these brackets. So if we multiply out those brackets, we're going to get ax squared plus bx multiplied by x is going to give us bx squared minus 4 multiplied by bx is going to give us minus 4bx. And then if we multiply out the next brackets, we're going to get cx minus 4c. And all that should be equal to x squared plus 13x minus 20. Now that looks nowhere near any bit closer to looking like a coefficient with an x squared, an x, and a normal number. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to group all the x squareds together, we're going to have to group all the x's together, and we're going to have to group all the normal numbers together. So in this case, we can see here that the two x squareds are next to each other. So I can factor out x squared from both of them, and I'm going to be left with a plus b x squared. If I look at the next two now, they're just both the x's, so I can factor out x out of them, and if I do that, I'm going to get minus 4b plus c, and that's multiplied by x because I factored out the x, and then the only normal number here is just the minus 4c, and that should be equal to x squared plus 13x minus 20. Now, when we have one quadratic on one side and one quadratic on the other side, guys, that means the numbers in front of the x squareds must be equal, the numbers in front of the x's must be equal, and the numbers, just the normal numbers as well, must also be equal. And that is a rule not only with algebra, but with complex numbers, with all those kind of things where we have x squared, x's, and normal numbers. The numbers in front of them or the coefficients must be equal if the equations are equal. So looking at this, we can get the coefficient in front of the x squared. That's going to be a plus b. And that must be equal to the coefficient on the other side, which is just 1. So now we know a plus b is equal to 1. If we look at the coefficient in front of the x on the left-hand side, we get minus 4b plus c, and that must be equal to 13, which is the coefficient on the right-hand side. And then finally, our final one, when we look at both the normal numbers, we get minus 4c is equal to minus 20. And it's our job, guys, to find a, b, and c. Well, if we look at our third equation here, it's easy to find c. We just divide both sides by minus 4. And if we do that, we're going to get c is equal to 5. So we found one of them. But hang on, if I know c is equal to 5, I can substitute that back up into my second equation and I can find b. So I'll get minus 4b plus c, but we just found out that c was 5, so we'll have 5 is equal to 13. And to get b on one side by itself, I'm going to bring over the 5, so it becomes a minus 5. And 13 minus 5, that's going to give us 8. And dividing both sides then by minus 4, we're going to get b is equal to minus 2. So that's our second one. So now that I know c, and now that I know b, I can use our final equation, the very first equation we wrote, to find a. So if I substitute in the value for b, we get a minus 2 is equal to 1. So if we bring over the minus 2, it becomes a plus 2. So I'll have a is equal to 1 plus 2, or A is equal to 3? So we know now A is equal to 3, B is equal to -2, and C is equal to 5.